sportsradio.com.
And here's your host, Francis Mayer from Up on the Hill.
Hi, everybody. I'm Francis Mayer, Sports Information Director for Bakersfield College Athletics, the greatest community college athletic department in the known universe. Why? Because we have over 20 athletic teams and over 500 student athletes and the attendant coaches, staff, and folks like me who are keeping that ball rolling on the field. And we have sports teams that actually keep a ball rolling on a field, and in many instances, that's a good thing. In football, it's called the fumble-rooski. But in soccer, well, that's just a day in the life. Coach Byron Martinez, it is the first year that we have had men's soccer back at BC in almost 30 years, and I know I've laid a lot of pressure on you from getting the first goal to getting the first win. And right now, we're running into your first ugly stretch of schedule. We played a couple teams at Cosumnes River that were really tough. We're coming off a tough game against Santa Barbara. And in the next 2 weeks, you're going to face the number one team in the state in Fresno and the defending state champion in Oxnard.
Correct.
And if we look at the record, it's tough right now. But what are we playing for when we go up against a team that is number one in the state and is the defending state champion?
Well, we just got to continue to improve and look to get positive results. And the only way we're going to do that is if we continue being competitive. And we have been, even in these last 3 games that we've played that the results haven't gone our way. We've been competitive. It's just little things that we continue to do that on the field that it doesn't allow us to get a positive result. And we're in the games for most part, but once we commit one mistake, they kind of just continue to come, and the teams take advantage of that, which, I mean, that's part of the game. And we can't seem to do that to other teams at this moment. It's just a learning curve, learning how to be a college player, learning that it's competitive and every play matters, even when the ball's out of bounds. And, you still have to be focused all throughout the entire time that you're in there. And that's where we are right now in that phase, learning how to be completely focused for an entire game or an entire half at a time and, go from there.
And you do need to be focused. You do need to be locked onto the game and consistent, right?
Correct. It's the consistency part that we're lacking all throughout. And everything is basically consistency. Be consistent in what you're doing when you're on the field and stay sharp, be aware, make smart decisions when you're out there. And the one game that we kind of did that, we got to win at home. And that team still had a lot of opportunities, and so did we. It could have been either way. I mean, that game could have been 3-0 us, 3-0 them, or a tied game.
And which game are you referring to?
The Sequoias game, when we College of the Sequoias, our second home game. And, it was a battle that our men showed that they can do it. It's just, can we do it twice a week, every Tuesday, every Friday, whether we're on the road or whether we're at home? The last 3 games, we were on the road, and traveling is hard, especially for a group of guys that is not used to doing that. It's just learning about each other and learning about themselves as well. And I think, Santa Barbara was not an easy drive. It's a beautiful place to play at, and but we're on the bus for 3.5 hours.
And to explain that, you're with a group of guys that you spend a lot of time with, and when I wrestled, sometimes I'd be dieting, right? And we'll call it dieting. Really, I had not eaten in a day or two and was desperate to shave off 4 pounds or whatever. And there's guys that don't have to diet, like a heavyweight. They have a cap weight, right? And if they're under that, then they can eat. And when you haven't eaten in a while, you smell every are you eating Doritos back there? Could you tell me what they taste like? And then you want to punch him, right? Because you're just like, why are you eating in front of me? And then maybe somebody has gas, right? Maybe somebody's listening to their music way too loud. And then it's just, and then also they're sitting on a bus for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. How long was the trip to Consumnes?
It was 4 hours, 4.5 hours. And then, we left early in the morning, and to make sure that they had the proper nutrition, we stopped for breakfast,
You have to.
stopped for lunch.
Sure.
So, and that's one of the things that they're not accustomed to. They're accustomed to just eating whenever,
Sure.
and eating whatever.
Right.
So, but they're professionals in reality. I mean, you're playing a
Gotta
sport,
deliver.
you're representing,
Yeah.
and you can't go out there and not be hydrated, not be, if you didn't eat, if the last time you ate was 5 hours before kickoff, by the time that game is over, it's 7 hours, and you definitely have no energy whatsoever, and mentally you're drained, emotionally you're drained, and you're probably just thinking about, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat after the game? And then you lose track of what you need to do. So it's everything that is going on right now. It's part of it is just the learning, and it's the culture of that they're accustomed to, and now we're coming in and we're trying to set a different culture here with the coaching staff so that they understand. You eat at the right time. You eat the right types of food. Even after your game, you gotta eat within that first 45 minutes. Eat something.
And how many miles, just in regards to eating the correct things and having the right caloric intake and the balance, and it has to be food that you can digest and convert into energy quickly, but we don't want to eat crap. How many miles do your guys run in the course of a match?
I mean, it depends. I think on average, the midfielders are the ones that run the most. So they're the ones that are supposed to run the most.
Right.
But
I've heard 5 to 7 miles you could run in a match.
you can run about anywhere at this level. You can run anywhere in between 4 to 7, and that's if you're playing a full 90 and if you're doing your job on both sides of the ball and doing it correctly. So at this point, we're probably running 2.5, 3. But
Getting real with Coach Viren on the Renegade Reports.
No,
so are you
but-
saying they need to be moving twice as much?
Well, we need to move, and part of we need to move and be smart about our movement, and that's part of being aware of your surroundings.
Wow.
And that's really what's going on. It's be aware of your surroundings, and we're getting there. Francis, every game has been an improvement. I mean, we look at each other with my assistant, and we tell him, that was a great game, but the result doesn't go our way because we commit 1 or 2 mental mistakes in crucial times. So, if you commit a mistake in the first 30 seconds inside your penalty box and they punish you, I mean, technically you still have over 89 minutes to crawl back.
Well, but here's the thing, and I am new to being very attentive to men's soccer, okay? And men's soccer is different than women's soccer, and just like softball is different than baseball, and for good reasons, really. I mean, they're just different dynamics of play. But one thing I've noticed about watching men's soccer is those tries, those attempts on goal, they're few, they're far between, and sometimes you'll have the goalkeeper out of position, or you'll have like a one-on-one situation, but then other times it's this game of like half inches, right? The guy strikes the ball and it's just off by a little, and it sails above the crossbar, right? And those attempts are much harder to come by than I anticipated.
Yeah, and you're probably looking at, you might take 15 shots, but shots on goal might be anywhere between 3 to 6. It just depends.
That's what I mean. Yes.
And then sometimes, you go down the field and you get an opportunity and you miss, and then 15 seconds later, you're taking the ball out of your own net and putting it into the middle and to kick off because they just scored on you and they had one opportunity, one goal. And and it happens to every team. It happens to every team out there, and that's the mentality. You just got to stay focused, and you got to understand that you're out there to win, to compete, and sometimes you're gonna you're gonna have an opportunity, so you have to take advantage of it. So we've been giving opportunities away, and we've had a few that have been kind of handed to us as well, and we haven't been able to punish the team. We haven't been able to get that shot on goal or get that goal. We had great plays against Santa Barbara. We had our left winger got in behind. It was a great let go by a center forward, and he was inside the box, and we thought it was going to go in. I mean, and then the ball just took a weird bounce right before it got to him, and he didn't get all of the ball. So, I mean, the keeper kind of he dove, but he kind of had to wait for the ball to get to him because it wasn't struck well. And that's one opportunity and a crucial point of the game that if you score, you're looking at 3-1 with about 30 minutes to go. And Santa Barbara was really, it was tough. It was tough to take. We had a great game plan, and we were executing, and we actually executed almost throughout the entire game. It was just 5 minutes of craziness.
And that's been, unfortunately, that's something that's happened before, right?
Correct. I mean, the difference in this is that we didn't score before,
right?
And but they had a free kick on top of the 18. One of their players got loose. It was a great ball. Credit to them. It was a great ball, and the guy got behind, headed it in, and then I believe within a minute and a half after that, they had a corner kick. We cleared it. We didn't clear the second ball, and the guy just came in and he really, whether he had any direction of where he was going with it, but he shot it. It was on frame, and it was a goal. And it was just almost the same thing with the third one. So, it's like you got punched and you didn't really have any time to catch your breath. And you got punched again and punched again. So, and then after that, we competed. I mean, we were competing even at that point. It was just those 5 minutes. And in soccer, I mean, we won a game 1-0, and that game was just a battle. So sometimes you win, it's the same thing whether you win 1-0 or lose or win, 5-6-0.
Well, and we could just look back at the World Cup and little Iceland, right? I mean, they made a run, and they had a lot of things break their way and go their way, and that is one of the most exciting things about soccer, I think. The thing that I'm really growing to love and enjoy about it is that aspect of it, the perfection that can be achieved by anybody at any moment, right?
Right. It's
maybe not perfection isn't the right term.
Well, it's just once you have confidence as an individual. So I might be confident, but then if you're doubting yourself a little bit for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
you have a test in a couple of hours, or you had a test and you're still mentally drained from the night before studying, that goes into it. So it's just, if I have confidence in myself and I have confidence in you, then you're going to have confidence in the person next to you. And then all of a sudden the entire team is really confident that they can perform well and they can achieve.
Footy.
So that, all you need is to just get into a really good run and get good result, and then the next one will follow, and then you start building momentum going forward. And we're hoping, our goal before going into conference play has been to be a 500 team, and we're still there. And we have 5 games to go. We've played 6, and our record's not great in 1-4-1, but we can still go into the conference play being a 500 team, and that's been our goal throughout. Could we have gotten results in out of those 4 games we lost? Even the one, yes, even the one we tied. Our record could have easily been, maybe 4-1-1.
But how many people are starting on our side that have played together before?
just a handful, maybe 2, 3 that they've played together, whether in high school or in their club team.
Right. And how many of them have played for you before in your staff?
Well, for me, there's only one that's played for me before, and that was many years ago, at the club level. And I believe for Ricardo, maybe 3 or 4, and that was when they were younger.
Right.
So, it's the first year. We understand that, but it's not an excuse. You're a soccer player. You love this sport. You've been a soccer player all of your life, and you go out there, focus, execute, and compete. And if you can't do that, there's 10 guys waiting to just show that they can. But the reality is, we have to, we're a team, and we're going to win together and we're going to lose together. If one makes a mistake, everyone makes a mistake. And right now, that's our phase right now. Just understanding that we're in it together. You saw me yesterday, and you saw the.
Well, wait. Let's get to that. Hold on. We're going to take a quick break. Chris, can we take a break? Is that kosher? Oh, all right. Well, we will. When we come back, we're going to talk about keeping our heads when things are tough, because athletics is really a metaphor for life, and I'm a big fan of that idea, and so is Vin Scully. And if you're not, well, we're going to bring you up to speed. Don't go anywhere. There's more Renegade Report coming up next.